I think most car enthusiasts own a two-door sports car or would like to own a two-door sports car or maybe even had a two-door sports car at least once in their life or will own one at least once in their life or currently have one. You gotta have a two-door sports car sometime in your life if you're into cars. They're just really cool. Kind of claustrophobic, but they're really fun to drive. But I also think most car enthusiasts have aspirations on owning a van. I've always said this: sports cars are cool, but nothing is cooler than a van. I'm still sick, but I want to make this video. I'm inspired right now. A lot of people do want a sports car, but not everyone does. A big chunk do, though. Some people want super sedans, like four-door super sedans, like a CTSV or an AMG or an M. But I think as many people that do want a sports car, two-door, true sports car, I think more people actually daydream about owning a van at one point in their life. And I've wanted a van ever since I was a kid, like 4 or 5 years old. And me owning a van now is me pleasing my 4 or 5-year-old self. My cousins had a van. My parents had an 82 Corolla. My cousins had an 8240 Econoline. Conversion custom van with a fridge, cabinet, table, like this one. Fold-out sofa bed, and I was jelly. I wish my parents had a van for our road trips. We had an 82 Corolla. So me having a van is, me pleasing my younger self. It's like a childhood thing, Freudian, probably. I think every car enthusiast, not every, most, like a big amount, big chunk, has had some sort of van daydream, a van fantasy, like living in your van down by the river, going on road trips, going on adventures. And I'm lucky enough to have been able to go on adventures in my van with my dogs. And now I would like to go on van adventures with my girlfriend once the transmission issues are fixed here. One of my younger viewers asked me if he should get a van for his first vehicle. Absolutely you should. You're not going to street race in a van. You could go on adventures, especially if you're young. Don't be one of those people who talk about it or claims you go on adventures. Do it. Get a van. Go hiking. Go on desert adventures, mountain adventures. You could do all kinds of stuff in a van. You don't need to get a hotel room. You could take a shower at pilot truck stops. You can sleep in your van. Vans are great. Once the transmission issues are fixed on this thing, I would like to go to the Salton Sea, and yes, I will do vlogs on it. The only drawback about a van is the fuel economy. If you drive 65 or faster, you're going to get like 15 miles per gallon. If you could grandma drive it and go under 60, you'll get like 17, 18. Just grandma drive it. No one's going to run you off the road. You're in a van. No one's going to pick on you in a van. But yeah, sports cars are cool, but when you're sitting in your van and you look back at what's behind you, you have all this behind you. You have a little room behind you. In a sports car, there's nothing. In a van, there's all of this. So, a van as your first vehicle? Yeah. Have you ever daydreamed about owning a van? Had van to-do list, places, adventures? Get a van. How good vans are. I used to be a GM fanboy. I'm a GM fan mostly, especially in the 90s. But I grew up, and this van is my very first Ford. I went Ford Econoline just because there's so many of them. So many parts for them. Big aftermarket for them. So I went with an Econoline. You've seen what my van looks like. It looks like no other Econoline out there, I think. And that's a cool thing, even though there are so many Ford Econolines out there, or just vans in general, you could suit them to look like how you want them to look like and personalize them. This is my most personalized vehicle that I've ever owned. Like, this is the most modded vehicle, cosmetic-wise, that I've ever owned. So yeah, get yourself a van. If you've always had van fantasy daydream adventures, just do it. Get a van before it's too late. Vans are fun. Way more cooler than sports cars.